Imagine waking up in a world where billionaires shape the laws you live by, control the fuel in your car, and even influence what you can say and think, without you ever realizing it. Now what if I told you that world is already here? And at the center of it is a company you've probably never even heard of, Koch Industries. They aren't on the stock market, they don't answer to shareholders. But with an empire worth over $125 billion, Koch Industries holds the kind of power that governments fear, and everyday people never see coming. From oil to politics, from manufacturing to media influence, this secretive giant has infiltrated nearly every aspect of our lives. And yet their name rarely makes headlines. Why? Because they prefer to operate in the shadows. Until now. Today, we're exposing the empire that runs your world from behind the scenes. And by the end of this video, you might just start questioning who really holds the power in society. The Koch empire started in the 1940s when Fred Koch developed a revolutionary oil refining process. He was an ambitious entrepreneur but also a man with no problem making deals, even with Joseph Stalin's Soviet Union in the 1920s. Yes, you heard that right. Fred built the foundation for Koch Industries, but the real explosion of power came when his sons, Charles and David Koch, took control. They didn't just want an oil business, they wanted an empire, and they built one. By the 1980s, Koch Industries had swallowed up entire industries: energy, chemicals, manufacturing, and finance. They own brands you use every single day, but you'd never know it. And because they're a private company, they don't have to tell anyone what they're doing. No public reports, no oversight, just raw, unchecked power. While David Koch passed away in 2019, Charles Koch continues to run the empire today. Under his leadership, Koch Industries expanded into industries that many would consider controversial, such as pollution-heavy sectors like fossil fuels and chemicals. Today, Koch Industries operates in 60 countries, with over 130,000 employees worldwide, making it one of the largest privately held companies on the planet. They've amassed a fortune worth billions by pushing aggressive business practices, often at the expense of environmental protection and workers' rights. But the most shocking part? Their name isn't widely known outside of financial circles. They want to keep it that way. Koch Industries is everywhere, even if you don't realize it. Let's break it down. Oil and gas. Koch owns Koch Pipeline Company and Koch Industries Petroleum, two of the largest oil pipeline systems in the U.S., and they process millions of barrels of oil each day. They control the market, manipulate fuel prices, and block climate change policies that would hurt their profits. Chemicals and plastics. They manufacture key materials for cars, phones, and buildings. Koch's Georgia-Pacific is the world's leading producer of tissue products, and their Invista subsidiary produces materials used in everything from nylon fibers to spandex. Consumer goods ever used brawny paper towels, Dixie cups, or quilted northern toilet paper? That's Koch. They profit off your everyday shopping, without you even knowing their name. Most consumers have no idea they're funding one of the most politically influential companies in the world. Finance and AI, but they're not just stopping at traditional industries. Koch has its hands in finance, data analytics, and artificial intelligence. Their investment arm, Koch Industries Investment Group, has stakes in tech companies, including data analytics and AI firms that are shaping the future of global markets. But Koch Industries doesn't just dominate in business. It has also built an impressive political network, one that exerts a massive influence over the laws and policies that govern us all. Koch's political arm, Americans for Prosperity, is one of the largest and most influential grassroots organizations in the country. They advocate for free market policies, opposing regulations that might limit Koch's ability to operate without restrictions. This includes fighting environmental laws, pushing for tax cuts, and deregulation. Climate policy manipulation. Koch has poured millions into climate denial campaigns, including funding the Americans for Prosperity Foundation, which is one of the largest groups actively working against green energy policies. They've even lobbied to weaken or eliminate the Clean Air Act, because, let's face it, clean air doesn't pay as well as oil. Koch-backed groups like Americans for Prosperity played a critical role in shaping public policy on a national level, especially in fighting climate change policies. Voter influence and Citizens United. In 2010, Koch Industries backed the Citizens United case, which granted corporations the ability to make unlimited political donations, allowing them to further control elections and corrupt the political process. Their goal? To ensure that laws favor the super rich, while the rest of us get left behind. For example, in 2017, Koch-backed groups celebrated as the Trump administration rolled back the Clean Power Plan, which aimed to reduce carbon emissions from power plants. Koch's support for climate change denial has extended for years, stalling the United States' ability to take meaningful action on global warming. Koch's influence doesn't stop at the environment, it also affects workers' rights. Koch-backed groups push for right-to-work laws which make it harder for workers to organize unions and negotiate better wages and conditions. So what does all this mean for you? It means you're paying the price for Koch's power. Higher gas prices because they manipulate the oil market to benefit themselves. More pollution because they block climate regulations that could improve air quality and reduce environmental destruction. Weaker worker protections because they lobby against fair wages, healthcare, and workplace safety measures. More political corruption because they fund the system that gives them more power and influence, keeping the public at a disadvantage. They get richer, you get left behind, and they don't want you to know. It's time we start pulling back the curtain on their influence. Now that we understand the vast reach of Koch Industries, what can we, as consumers, do to make a difference? The first step is getting informed. Take the time to research the companies behind the products you buy. A little knowledge goes a long way in helping you make more ethical decisions. If you're uncomfortable supporting a company like Koch Industries, consider switching to alternatives that are more sustainable and socially responsible. Look for companies that prioritize environmental sustainability, fair wages, and corporate transparency. Another way to make a difference is by supporting advocacy groups that promote regulation of big corporations and corporate accountability. Groups like 350.org and Public Citizen are working to hold corporations like Koch accountable for their harmful practices. And of course, vote. Get involved in your local politics and vote for candidates who reject corporate money and stand up for the public good. Your vote counts, and it can send a message that corporations should not control our political system. The story of Koch Industries is one of immense power and influence, built by a small group of people who have shaped our world in ways we may never fully understand. From the products we consume to the laws that govern us, Koch's influence is far-reaching and deeply entrenched. But as consumers, we don't have to accept the status quo. We can make informed choices about the companies we support, advocate for change, and use our political power to demand accountability. Together, we can push back against the hidden giants of business and make the world a better place for everyone. What do you think? Should companies like Koch Industries have this much control over our world? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to spread the word about corporate influence.